William and Kate meet Aberfan rescuers. The tragedy in 1966 was one of the UK's worst disasters, and left 116 children and 28 adults dead. The Prince and Princess of Wales have met people who took part in the rescue operation after the Aberfan disaster. The tragedy in 1966 was one of the UK's worst disasters, and left 116 children and 28 adults dead. It was caused by a spoil heap landslide following heavy rain, which engulfed Pantglas Primary School and surrounding houses on the morning of October 21. William and Kate were visiting the Bannau Brycheiniog National Park to meet the Central Beacons Mountain Rescue Team when they were introduced to retired members Bob Thomas, 75, and Nick Richards, 79. They had helped in the aftermath of Aberfan and spent some time talking to the couple about the disaster. Mr. Thomas, who was then a 19-year-old bank clerk, showed William photos and explained how hard it was to clear the debris. "We were trying to shift what seemed like dry concrete," Mr. Thomas said. "It was really heavy and it must have come down like a train, because it has taken out a row of houses and the school. There was a spring that tipped over, that no one knew was there. We'd had 4 weeks of rain and it all just washed out. We were given a shovel and a pick to get the stuff away, but we just couldn't move it." Mr. Thomas said many of the rescuers were miners and had the knowledge and skills needed to clear the debris. "We ended up at about 2:30 a.m. and the miners had corrugated metal which they put into a trough, and they were using shovels to fill tipper lorries every 15 minutes with the slurry," he told William and Kate. "The miners did 16 hours straight on there. I managed 4 and I was 19 and fit. The last one out was about at 10:45 a.m. and after that it was recovery. It wasn't a rescue anymore. Fortunately we still had the pits then, so if we didn't have a gang of men who knew what they were doing it would have been worse. There were some horrible stories. My wife was a teacher and she told me about this chap who went to work at 8:30 a.m., and by 9:30 a.m. he'd lost his wife, his 2 children, his house, and all he had left was his sports jacket, trousers and Ford Anglia. That was it.